Hey, what is going on, everyone? Tom here, the consultant. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's having a great week heading into the weekend. Today is January 14th. It's a Saturday. I don't typically make these videos on the weekend, but I kind of considered, and I'm sure you guys would admit as well, we kind of have an exception here. And if you've been following the crypto market, which I hope you have, because I mean we've just been ripping in the past, since I don't know, what is this, the beginning of, actually no, it was late last week. Yeah, late last week is about when I said, you know, once we broke, you know, that 17,000 area on Bitcoin, you know, we were going to start to see you know, a ramp up towards 18. In my opinion, I did not expect us to actually break through 18 and continue on. However, there is a video. I do have a video that I will link up in the corner that I want to point out, where I was talking about once Bitcoin started breaking back into the 20s, more particularly around the, let's go back up here. We have to go to this higher view here. Where's the video where I was talking about once we broke up to about 25, you were going to start to see that people were going to start to turn heads and say that, you know, hey, we're in a full-out rally, start buying some Bitcoin. Okay, it was about this area, and then right around the 30 to I think 35. No, it was about 30. Yeah, it was about the 30 to I think 32,000. Or even 35,000, I think what I said, that this is going to be an area where I think a lot of holders from back down here in the 25 area are going to start dumping their coin. And I think, honestly, I don't. Is it something to worry about? I think, you know, economically long term, you know, in how big investors, such as big banks, you know, and stuff like that, the hedge funds, I think, yes, it does matter. It's just something to kind of keep an eye out for, but we'll get to that as we get closer, especially once we break 25, because I'm actually really curious as to, once we get to 25, how many people are actually going to come out and say that we are in a full-out rally and you should start buying. So when you start hearing institutions, that's what I meant, institutions and major investors starting to turn around to say, hey, you should be buying. I don't know what you're doing, but you should be buying. Okay. So anyway, let's kind of get back to the whole reason why I'm making this video on a Saturday is this. I mean, hello, look at this. This is this line here. I just drew this one right before I started recording, but you know, this is you know, the beginning of December. We were pretty much just flat, right? You know, we did kind of retest 18 here, and it was quickly turned down, and we've just kind of been in this holding pattern until recently, right? So big two yellow lines here trending down. This is our you know, kind of a bearish downtrend type of channel. And it looks like we broke that, but at the same time we broke through the 18.4, 18.5 resistance area. This was, I mean, honestly, I mean, looking back, it's really wasn't that strong of a resistance. I mean, we really only had a small zone here to kind of get through. Yeah, I mean, there's really not a whole lot, but we did break through it. I was a little cautious because we do have we had more signals pointing towards resistance than we did in the bearish sense. So, you know, the play here would have been obvious. I mean, that would have been the breakout trade into a kind of a small flag, if you will. And you know, the other play you would have gotten was this right here. This is what I was talking about the other day. I think it was Thursday, where, you know, we were sitting right here and I was like, hey, you know what, we've already broke through, the play is already done, you should probably wait for a retest. Now if you went ahead and you bought, hey, great for you. If you didn't, don't worry about it. Don't go FOMO mode. You know, this will come back down at some point, right? We all know the saying, what goes up must come down. Okay, it's just the way of the market, it's just the way of the world in general. So, I mean, that's what we got here. In my opinion, I have actually already closed my positions. I think I closed most of my positions up here. I am still a holder of Litecoin. That's really the only one I'm holding right now. FTM, I'm a bag holder anyway, outside of futures. But as far as my futures, the perpetual contracts, I think LTC is my only one. But I'm really good. Loved BNB. I love to play on BNB. We'll get to that in a minute. But overall, I think for Bitcoin, in order for me to actually buy Bitcoin, I would actually really like to see a solid retest within either, you know, at the 19.1 or even about 18.4, 18.5. You know, it's more than likely it's going to be this zone here, right? This is the zone I'm going to be looking for. It may come down and it may bounce. It may drop further, but I think, in my opinion, this is going to be the buying zone. I think there's going to be people taking profit up here. I mean, you can kind of see that with this stretch here of almost almost 1,500. Let's see, 21.5. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good stretch. I mean, there's a lot of money to be made there. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of me getting back into Bitcoin, I'm probably going to be waiting until somewhere around this area. I will probably definitely be buying, if we reach the, within this zone. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. But at the moment, it looks like we are hitting resistance at about 21.5. So that was this one back in the beginning of November. So it's right before we dropped off. So let's move on to ETH. ETH is looking really good. Again, it's kind of the same pattern. It's just it's a different instrument, slightly different layout. So we didn't quite hit the 16.8 resistance here, but instead, again, as I pointed out before, we were kind of, it was a channel inside a channel. The bigger overall trend was down. We did get a breakout, and again, my thought, just as a cautious long-term swing trader, I was looking for the benefit of the doubt. We had a stronger resistance here as opposed to Bitcoin at this level. So at 13.5. I mean, I guess you could say it did break out and then kind of retest this area. I guess you could maybe call this this candle here on on Thursday. So January 12th. Thursday, I think you could probably call that retest. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. It just has to be, somewhat noticeable, right? So, other than that, I think that very well could have been a retest. But it's always good to wait for confirmation before buying up. So, if you've seen the video, you saw the breakout, and you saw it kind of come back and retest, and you got in. Congratulations, and that is really good work. So, but I think our next goal, I think it's obvious, is going to be the 16.8. It does look like we are going to be pulling back a little bit. Again, I'm gonna be kind of keeping this channel. I'm gonna be at least kind of keeping this upper bound channel here, this level. Kind of keeping that going, because that'll probably serve as kind of a key level to retest. So I think in order for us to break the 16.8 and move on to pushing towards 18, it's gonna be our next push. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be, I think, a little bit harder. And I think once we get to this level, we'll probably be at that 25,000 level on Bitcoin. So there's going to be a lot of things are going to get very, very interesting as we push through Bitcoin's the 20s. It's going to be very, very interesting. So kind of keep your ear to the ground in terms of what institutions, what big banks, what big investors, hedge funds, stuff like that are doing, and see if we can make a correlation between these highs as we pull off of the bottom. So let's move on to BNB. BNB is actually really interesting. I made a short the other day, kind of saying, hey, can we make it to 318? Again, pretty damn close. What is the high of this? The actual high is 314.88. Pretty damn close, man. Because look at this. I mean, if we break 318, our next what's this purple line for? Oh, yeah. Okay, so the purple line was just kind of for, looks like something I drew previously. 336. So yeah, that's possible. It's a possible key area of interest is this 336 and then 361. I think those are definitely good areas of measure to kind of keep an eye on. So again, here with BNB, I would expect us to definitely be retracing, probably coming back down to about the 292. I would definitely be a buyer to get back into that. Or again, guys, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just because you draw a line on the chart doesn't mean it's going to respect it. So it's the market. It's going to do whatever the hell it wants. 292. If it comes back or kind of comes within, I would probably say, let's just say maybe $5, maybe, yeah, I'd probably say that. So it'd probably be within the zone of 297 to 292. I'd probably be a buyer back into BNB, although that's gonna. I was a holder since this area, so I made some good money on this one. So I hope you guys were accumulating in this, because this has been a really good ride. Definitely paid off holding through December. So let's move on to probably one of my favorite, Litecoin. Litecoin has been an absolute beast. I have not seen this chart since Thursday. Man, Litecoin has just been, in my opinion, Litecoin has been outperforming literally everything, I think, since, probably since September, October. But look at this. So Litecoin back in December, this is not going to be an accurate box here. It's just pointing it out. Look at this. Middle of September, Litecoin kind of went flat for a good solid month and a half, and then it starts making moves. So it's almost like Litecoin is kind of a little bit ahead of the game in terms of excuse me, in terms of market moves. It's just that's actually something I literally just realized as I was talking through this. It just looks like, Litecoin kind of went through its consolidation phase and then started making moves. We do have a little bit of a consolidation phase here, but again, still, look at this. This was, if we look, this ended, let's see, December 14th. This is when, let's kind of go back. Okay, no, that one doesn't count. But if you look, even Ethereum kind of went through a, it was, mind you, it's kind of a shaky consolidation phase here. Pretty much for a solid month. So that's kind of what we got. Same thing here, right? Put this back here. Same thing in this area. Okay. And same thing in here. Now, mind you, Litecoin did kind of have a little bit of a sell-off here, but ever since then, mid-December, it's just been on the rise. So, my price projection for Litecoin is pretty crazy. I think, honestly, I would not. Jeez, hold on. I think I actually have to switch to a daily on this one. I mean, look at where we are and look at where we've been with Litecoin. Litecoin is really, I don't know. I think Litecoin is probably one of my favorite. If you guys haven't noticed yet, but I mean we've got a lot of really good key stops here. You know, especially with 133, all the way up to almost 300. I mean this is like 295. So I think Litecoin is a beast, and I think regardless of where you're getting in at this point, I think it is definitely a discount. Now I'm not saying we're going to go back up to 300 or even 400 where it was before, but I think Litecoin definitely has some true potential to get there. I mean, if you guys don't know very much about Litecoin has pretty much has stayed true to literally being a currency of the people. I mean, you go across to Asia, Thailand, stuff like that. You go to places like that, China. There's places that accept Litecoin. There are Litecoin machines. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, Litecoin is definitely one of my favorites. I'm a long-term holder of Litecoin at this point, so I will be around to ride this wave. So let's kind of move on. Last one here is FTM. FTM is, again, yeah, FTM has definitely been a quite a ride. I think I've been a long-term holder for FTM. I think since it was sometime last year. It was, I think I started getting it to FTM about $1.20-ish, something like that. And yeah, I've been accumulating as much as I could, in regards to trying to accumulate these other ones as well. And yeah, I mean it's definitely paid off. I'm not quite. I think 34 is my break even when I got really heavily invested into FTM. So I think I'm almost at that point where well, actually no, I think my break even is probably more around 30 cents. So I'm pretty positive I'm at break even or just above it at this point. So I think as far as more recent support, hold on, let me turn this on. This is let's see, our support is going to be right around here. It's going to be right around that 31.50, which is a good number. I mean, I could live with FTM being in the 30s. That's definitely fine with me. Yeah, I mean, this is, again, we had a downward channel here that we broke out of. Really wasn't too much. I mean, I think we have two scenarios here. I'm going to delete this, and I think we've got two scenarios here with FTM, and you guys can argue with me on this. I would love it. We have two different scenarios, and FTM, for some reason, when it drops hard, and it just, I don't know, FTM makes its own waves. But I think we've got two different scenarios. We'll either definitely retest this 31.50 area, or if we break through, it's very, very, very possible that we will definitely come back down to the mid 20s, 25, 26. Yeah, I mean, definitely within this area. I think actually this zone here would probably be. I wouldn't take this zone, completely off the table just yet. So, this is a. I mean, yeah, like pretty much everything else, ETH and BTC, with Bitcoin going through the 20s and up towards the 30s, FTM kind of brings its own history to kind of jumble through. So, yeah, so as far as like my next target in terms of FTM, I definitely think, you know, getting back up to 41, 42, I think that's definitely possible. But I think we would all very much appreciate if FTM came back up to $1. That's I think that's everyone's dream. Everybody wants everything to go back to $1. But I do find it interesting when, you know, I get on CoinMarketCap and I read some of the comments, and some of these are like, oh, the FTM's going to zero, it's a dead project, and it's like, man, you guys just, like, I know they're trolls, but it's just like, you know, the people that believe them, you know, they're like, should I buy FTM? Do your research. I mean, FTM has so many good projects on it, and again, every single one of these up here is a network token, with the exception of Curve. Curve is, you know, definitely, holy shit, it's up 80 cents. Wow, okay, did not know that. Glad I checked. glad I clicked on that. But I mean, like everything else up here, BTC is a network token, ETH is a network token, BNB, Litecoin, FTM are network tokens. Network tokens, that means if you go on their network, if you want to do anything, if you want to send money peer-to-peer, which is P2P, or, you know, if you want to interact with a smart contract, a decentralized application, right? You want to do anything on these networks, you have to have these coins. So in turn, unless all of the developers move off of the network, I mean, there's going to be a demand for these tokens, okay? It's the only reason why I buy these. I don't buy farm tokens. The only farm token that I actually buy is Geist, and I'm already done in buying in bulk with Geist, okay? I bought a massive, a shit ton of Geist back when it was like 2.5 cents, okay, at the bottom. I mean, I saw the opportunity. Geist is an absolute awesome platform on FTM, but yeah, it's just all of these other networks, there's a demand for them, okay? FTM, BNB, ETH, BTC, Litecoin. I'll try and find that article that I found where Litecoin was actually considering bringing or developing a smart contract layer for the Litecoin network. That would be absolutely awesome, in my opinion. It would bring new light to Litecoin, especially with the halving coming up. So, all right. Other than that, guys, we're at 22 minutes. I'm way over what I originally wanted to do. I think we're in an absolute booming crypto market at the moment. So, if yeah, I would say, you know, my last piece of advice is, you know, don't go FOMO mode, okay? Don't go fear of missing out. There are going to be plenty of opportunities, believe me, on the ride back up. All right, 2023. I mean, we're only, you know, 2 weeks exactly into 2023, so you have plenty of time, plenty of opportunities. Just take your time. All right. Don't if you buy on the way up, my advice would be buy in small increments. Okay, have a plan. You know, if you're investing $100 or $1,000, you know, break those up into 10 trades, right? Divide, you know, 1,000 into 10 and buy, you know, $100 at certain in certain increments, right? That way, you know, when the market goes up, you know, you're buying and it comes back down, you're buying and you're dollar cost averaging. So, you know, it kind of evens out a little bit. So if, you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket, spread them out. And other than that, guys, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys are interested in any of the tools that I use, check the links down in the description box. I've got 20 or 30% off of TopStep Trader, Trading Combine. There's a free trial down there as well. There's also a link in the description for the Jigsaw trading tools if you're interested in proprietary, or I guess a proprietary trading firm type of tools. Not gonna lie, it's a little expensive, but it's definitely worth it. Check that out. There's a link down in the description below. I'm pretty sure it gives you a discount as well. So other than that, guys, I will see you in the next one. Later.